everybody. Welcome to Gettin Blitzed.
Gettin Blitzed.
I'm Danny.
I am so Ben.
We got our friend here, Chad Stewart. What's up, Chad?
Hey, see money. Money ain't got to get me.
That made no sense.
That's off to a good
I'm
start.
really drunk right now.
We don't drink. We don't endorse drinking.
Not only do we not endorse it, we don't tolerate it.
Let me start off here that the curse of Ben Richmond is alive and well.
It's a pox.
Yes, you endorsed somewhat Jairus Byrd, and now he's out for the season.
Did I do that?
A little bit. You
I
just
don't
talked about how
remember
good he
that.
was as a safety and how that should have helped New Orleans.
Well, I mean, that's not fair.
I'm just
Everybody endorsed that. Everybody endorsed that. I
Yeah.
agree. I have a curse. But you
Yeah,
can't-
no, we-
Jairus Byrd is
No,
not on me.
No, you publicly said how
it's a-
good he was as a safety, and now he's out for the season.
Because I'm the only one that thought Jairus Byrd was a good
No, but
safety.
I'm just saying when you say it.
That's a good point.
When
As
you
soon as I
say
said
it.
as soon as I said it publicly,
Yeah,
that's when he went down.
when you say it.
Yeah.
Jewish pox.
So I
That's what it
think
is.
Pro Football Focus had him as like, out of all starting safeties, he was bottom 10 this season. So maybe it's for the best.
Wow, I did not know that.
All right, let's do.
I think Kenny Vaccaro was
Yeah, he's
right
pretty-
next to him
dude,
too in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that's New Orleans' fault. That's not
Yeah.
mine.
All right, let's do the news.
The news.
Poor Oakland fans. What are they gonna do?
Nah, I think this is looking up. I drunkenly talked to an Oakland fan at the bar last night, and he thought the Dennis Allen firing was about as good as it can get.
Yeah,
for
I'm
Oakland
not
fans
saying
right
it was-
now.
It
Was-
seemed like it quietly happened. Like there was not a big news about
Well, it's because there's not a big news about Oakland period right now.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on there. This can only be good, and I think they at least have a shot from what the rumors have been. They might have Jim Harbaugh next year, and that would be huge for them. That'd be huge.
Oh, he might lose that locker room too. Shit.
Yeah,
It's fuck-
yeah. But the rumors are Jim Harbaugh won't be with the Niners next year, but he wants to stay in that area. He doesn't want to sell his house. So what other choices do you have? You go to Oakland. They have an opening. Maybe they've even talked. Maybe that's why they did the firing now. We'll see.
We'll see.
But I think we can all agree that would be a big improvement for that team if they got Harbaugh. I think we can all agree you could get the zombified corpse of Vince Lombardi right now, and it would still take him 5 years to be relevant. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
They're not going to be
Yes.
relevant anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I don't know any Oakland fans, thank God. But but you have to think 5 years in the future at this point, and firing Dennis Allen is probably a good thing.
All right. Continuing story here, plus a new story. New Orleans at Dallas. Two things going on
Can I
here.
just do this?
What are you gonna do? Ben's clapping, by the way. That's not him
I don't know.
banging his head against the
Yes,
wall. He was
yes.
actually
No, and
applause.
usually when we talk about Cowboys games, I am banging my head against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna curse them. But no, and I'll just say this. Obviously, I'm a Roma fan. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Roma fan. But objectively, that was the most complete game I've ever seen the Cowboys play. At least in the last 5 years, it's the most complete game where the passing game was great, the running game was great, the defense was great, the special teams were great, the play calling was great. I've never watched a Cowboys game ever from start to finish where I didn't at least at one point think, "What the fuck was that play?" And they just killed it on every level. And I think that gives credit to Scott Linehan, to what's his name? What's the DC now? Marinelli. I think those
Rod
two guys.
Marinelli.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Rob? Wow.
And I'll give Garrett kind of credit by proxy because he's still. I guess he was still there doing something. I don't know what he was doing.
Okay.
But no, I thought that was a really impressive showing. And again, we all know the Cowboys can collapse, but in that game, they look like a playoff team.
Yeah, I think the Saints they ran out of bounties. They figured the Cowboys would bounty themselves.
Why do we get this guy on the podcast? Why do we do that? I didn't need this guy. Why did this happen?
On that note, that moves the needle more than Miles' success is complete failure. New Orleans is the sky falling in New Orleans? Cliche alert.
Well, isn't that the question? Is when you watch a game like that, you always, especially this early in the season, you have to say, is Team A great or is Team A or Team B terrible? And I don't think we know right now, but I think Saints are at least decent. And I think if they're at least decent than what the Cowboys did to them, you have to say the Cowboys are at least decent.
Yeah.
I think that's a victory for the Cowboys and a failure for the Saints.
All right, their offense isn't terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
no, they didn't score many points in Dallas, but their offense is good, right? Right?
It should be, shouldn't it? And
Yeah,
and
it's
when
supposed
you
to be.
watch their offense, you don't sit there and say, and there are other teams we'll talk about later where you can say this about. You don't watch the Saints offense and think, what the fuck are they doing? You don't say that guy fucked up. You don't say the offensive line's terrible. You don't say the quarterback is having issues. It's just they're not getting it done. And it's kind of strange, isn't it? I don't think you can point to the Saints offense and say this is why they haven't been performing. It's just a lack of chemistry, maybe. I don't know.
They're number 3 in yards per game.
Yeah.
Saints.
And what's it doing for them?
Yeah. Not much.
It's a weird,
really.
but I think when we take that stat and we take what I just said, I think you can say the Saints offense has a pretty good shot of getting better.
And Dallas is 8 in yards per game.
Who is 17th?
17.
Don't answer that.
San Diego.
I like how Chad has more stats and research than either one of us. San Diego's only 17th?
Yes.
Wow, that's surprising. You'll probably cut this out because it's kind of irrelevant. That's a surprising stat,
yeah.
isn't it? Keep that in.
Yeah.
San Diego's 17th.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
yards per game. Yards per game.
That's shocking to me that San Diego's 17th. I would think they'd be top 12.
We'll have to do some
Keep
more
this in.
analysis
This
on
is
that.
no one else is talking about this shit.
yeah.
All right. Same story, but in the Red League, the AFC.
Red League.
What the fuck was that? You want to
The
explain
Communist
that one?
League or something?
I was doing drops. I thought we did drops.
Okay.
Go on.
Anyways.
New England at KC.
New England.
New England.
New England.
New England. New England at Kansas City.
And I'm the Jew on this podcast.
One team doing bad, one team doing good. Not saying the other team is good, but not saying the other team is bad. The same thing.
Whoa.
Same thing here.
Too much information. First off, I think saying if you're describing New England as not doing bad after that game, I think you are sugarcoating that shit.
Well, I mean, no, I fucking hate.
We all know you're dating a New England fan, but
Right.
still, let's be objective.
No, yeah, I fucking hate them. I
Yes.
hope they burn to the ground. But
No, that was just brutal.
right, I
Yeah.
don't. But I really don't think they're that bad yet. They're not
Why
good.
do you-
They're
why
not
do you
good.
think they're not that bad?
I just.
No.
Yeah.
Give specifics. Why do you think they're not that bad?
I don't have any, and I'll agree.
I'll
That's
give
not
you
good.
3 reasons why
Okay.
you don't think they're that bad.
Yes.
1, Tom Brady.
Yes.
Name only.
Yes.
2, Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Name only.
Yes.
And 3, New England Patriots. Name only.
Yes.
Yes.
If this was the Jags that played a game like that, no one would be sitting around saying, we know they're gonna bring it back around. They're gonna be good." And I'm not saying that's unfair, but it's not a good offense.
No, it's not.
What's good about it?
And it's an
You
average.
end up, we
average
talked about this
defense at
before.
best.
We talked about it a few
Yeah.
weeks ago. I mentioned the offensive line's terrible. 2 weeks ago, you mentioned if Julian Edelman is your great offensive player, you're in big trouble. And we're both absolutely right. It's not a good team. They have
He's not a wide receiver 1.
not
He's
even close.
Not even close.
He's a slot guy that they're forcing to be a wide receiver 1. Why is Julian Edelman running sideline routes? Why is he doing that? That's just not what he does. That's
He's
like
just-
you know what he
Hey
is.
man, he's just a big target
If
out there.
who-
You know.
let me
He's-
ask you a question right now.
Throw him a jump ball. Get it. He'll go get it.
because he's what 5'3" and
Next
Jewish.
Megatron right there, man.
Oh my god.
No, but
Why-
here's
yeah.
Let me ask you this question right now, and I think I know what your answer will be. But let me just ask both of you guys this: who's better, Julian Edelman or Cole Beasley on Dallas? Who's better?
Edelman.
Significantly better?
Production, yes.
Your hesitation says,
No,
yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
on every snap,
Right.
whereas Beasley's on
Right.
about half the snaps, and he's the only target.
I don't know much. I don't know a lot of tape about Cole Beasley about his.
He doesn't have a lot of tape.
Phys-
Yeah,
My point is that Edelman probably shouldn't have a lot of tape either.
yeah. This year, what I've seen, I think Colt has outperformed Edelman. Just this year.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm
Cole.
not saying
Cole.
Colt. Yeah, Colt McCoy Beasley.
Yeah, Colt's a cooler name.
No, my point is not that they're equal players. My point is they're kind of the same type of player. And you look at how Dallas uses Cole Beasley, where he's on some snaps, and he's not the main guy. In New England, Julian Edelman is the guy as far as wide receivers, and that's not okay.
Which episode was it when I said if Julian Edelman is the strength of your team, you're in trouble.
Which I mentioned earlier. I think. I don't keep up with the numbers, but I think it was episode 3, 4.
He said it.
8.
It's somewhere.
I said it. Look it up.
What have we done? About 150 episodes.
Yeah, but yeah,
No, I mentioned that.
Yeah, Edelman should be an asset, not a strength. If he's your strength, you got problems.
He should be Cole Beasley at worst, and maybe Wes Welker at best. But even when Wes Welker was on the Patriots, no one ever said he was. I mean, what year was he the guy?
He wasn't wide receiver 1.
No. Yeah, they always had someone else, whether it was tight ends with Hernandez and Gronk or, earlier than that. But he was never the guy.
Moss.
And now it's like Edelman's,
started with Moss.
Edelman's the guy. And that's it's not fair to him. I'm not hating on Edelman.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's a role player.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a very good role player,
Yeah.
but he's a role player.
Yeah.
As much as I love talking shit about the Patriots, what about the Chiefs? What about the Chefs here?
I think they're still a little bit of an enigma. I think they're definitely not a bad team. They're like we were talking about last week. We were talking about gatekeepers. They could be a gatekeeper. They could be a little bit better. I don't think they're worse than a gatekeeper. I don't think they're worse than the 16th best team in the NFL.
So we're not getting a lot of juice from this game.
Well, I said this earlier about the Cowboys and the Saints. You could say, is Team A terrible?
Right. So that's
or
what I
is
said.
Team B good?
Same thing,
Yeah.
but different league.
And I think
a conference.
I think Chiefs are
Keep
probably
us in
around
league.
the top, maybe the 13th best team in the league, something like that. I think they're around that area where they're maybe
That's a gatekeeper then.
a little bit above average, but not much.
That's just a good gatekeeper.
Yeah, a good gatekeeper. But to be fair, Alex Smith, who
Oh, again?
no, but this is important. Yeah, Wesley mentioned it last week. He's been playing really well. He's been playing better than Tom Brady.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be fair, does he have a better receiver core than Tom Brady? No, not even close. He doesn't have an Edelman.
That's
He
right.
definitely doesn't have a Gronk. I mean, Kelsey's been good, but he's kind of emerging. He's a young guy, still emerging. Alex Smith has been a better quarterback than Tom Brady with a worse receiver core. A better offensive line, though not much better, but a worse receiver core.
And I think he just lost Avery to sports hernia surgery.
Yeah, which I wish Jonathan was sitting here because Jonathan Davis, you should. Last year he loved him some Donnie Avery.
And then again, we're only a quarter of the way through the regular season.
Absolutely, but I still think we can say by any metric, Alex Smith this season has outplayed Tom Brady, and that's kind of a weird thing to say, but it does. As far as we're talking about the Chiefs, maybe they could be a better team than we're giving them credit for. We all said before the season started they're not going to be as good as last year. Their schedule's rougher, all this shit. Maybe they're still good enough. Maybe they're decent.
All right. Chad, you want to give some love to your boy, old Steven Smith?
Yes. How about Steve
Old man
Smith Sr. at the age of, was it 35?
I think
believe.
it's 65.
Is he
Can I put out something right now?
What?
When Steve Smith got signed, I remember I saw Chad that day, and I was like, "Hey, man, your Ravens signed Steve Smith. That's pretty cool." And he was like, "I don't like it, man." And I said, "Why didn't you like it?" I mean, I know he's not necessarily great these days.
I mean,
but he said, "Oh, we signed these veteran receivers, and they always fucking collapse."
Yes, they do. There was TJ.
Not Bolden, not Q.
Okay, yes. Q is the exception.
I'm just trying to say,
But
if
I was indifferent whenever I first heard about it.
indifferent is
Extremely indifferent.
I'm just trying to
Was
say,
Steve
if Chad wants to be now like, yeah, Steve Smith, I'll be like, remember when they first signed him and you were like, I hate it. It's terrible.
Yeah, was Steve Smith indifferent about catching some touchdowns against his old team there?
God, he was not. It was amazing.
Can we say right now that Steve Smith is by far, if you could see an interview with any player in the NFL, would Steve Smith not be number one? An interview, a post-game interview.
No, Peyton Manning's 1 through
All right.
10.
Well, you're...
but Steve Smith is a close 11.
No, he's number one.
Yeah,
He's number one
yeah,
because you never know what he's going to
gonna
say.
say,
And
yeah.
he's the coolest. He's the coolest motherfucker in the NFL.
Yeah, but you weren't going to get in a fight during your interview.
No, that's what makes it exciting. I'm not saying I want to be the interviewer. I just want to watch it.
Okay, we're going to do a new segment tonight.
New segment.
New segment. It's called What's Worse.
What's worse?
We're going to revisit some claims and statements and other things we've made in the past. And
I don't think we remember any of them either. We don't remember actually making the statements.
No, but we will bring them back up and defend them as best we can. And we have an arbitrator here. Chad Stewart, and he was going to tell us what is worse. On the docket today, Ben saying the Jags were going to be good. I think episode 1-ish.
Yes, I remember that.
I think I said
I remember
decent.
that very
I feel
clearly.
like I said decent.
Well, whatever. Versus me, preseason-ish, saying New Orleans was a Super Bowl team.
Yes, that is true.
All right.
Me first? Me
Sure,
first?
you first.
In the first podcast when I said Jacksonville would be, I think I said a decent team. Maybe I said a good team. I don't know. We'll say I said a good team.
I think you said they could win the
no,
second.
I said they could make second.
You better
Behind
watch
the
out for
Colts.
those
But
guys.
I specifically said, what did I say? I said around week 3 or 4, Blake Bortles will be starting for that team. What happened week 4? Blake Bortles is starting.
Are they winning?
No, they're not winning yet. But
You got that right. Go
Blake
on.
Bortles looks pretty good. Here's the biggest problem with
this all
that
in
team is
check.
the offensive line, which I feel like we talk a lot about offensive lines in this podcast. I think that kind of means we're really more in depth than most podcasts that talk about wide receivers and running backs and quarterbacks. When we talk
No.
about the trenches.
No, we
But-
don't know shit.
No, that's fair. But my point was, I think there's enough young talent on that team, especially with Blake Bortles, who's now starting and will be starting for the rest of the season. Could they still make second in the AFC South? I think Houston's going to drop off. I think the Titans look like shit. Obviously, Indy wins that division. So, yeah, I will defend that. I don't think that's worse than what you said. I don't even remember what you said, but it was ridiculous and terrible.
All right.
So, yeah, I stand by it. Jacksonville still has a shot of at least being a decent team and maybe getting second in that division.
Okay. Drew Brees, Super Bowl MVP. Jimmy Graham, highest paid tight end in history. I rest my case.
Wow, I did all that work, and that's what he did.
Wow.
That's what he did. Didn't mention the record, which is what 0-20. What is it right at this point?
1-3, I believe.
Same thing.
Versus 0-4.
All right, Chad.
No, whoa.
Man, that is hard not to pick New Orleans because it's just
Drew Brees, man.
Yeah,
Drew
Drew
Brees could
Brees,
win
Jimmy
Super Bowl.
Graham, and
So you're saying
Bortles, rookie quarterback. There's no way.
you're saying
And
picking Jacksonville as a potentially a good team, maybe
but-
second division,
maybe second, yeah,
is
second.
worse.
Objection.
Is
Tampering.
worse.
Tampering.
Than New Orleans being a Super Bowl team at 1-3 and lost to the Browns, which I think if you lose to the Browns, you're automatically out of the Super Bowl. I don't think anything else matters.
I think that's a law. Actually.
I don't know. New Orleans might back into the fucking
All right, hit your
Super Bowl.
Smack your gavel. What's worse?
My gavel says the Jacks.
Oh,
You know what?
shit! What?
you know, fuck you both. No, if I was in this position, I'd say the same thing. I think New Orleans has a good chance of turning around, and Houston might just win enough games to get second.
Look,
Yeah.
if New Orleans can hang in there, get to the playoffs, and then right the ship, then
No, that's not happening. There's no fucking way they make the Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
they can make it to the championship game somehow. No.
is there a consolation bowl in the NFL? Is that how it works? No, they should be better, but I mean, we already talked about Jairus Byrd.
It doesn't matter. Chad already rolled.
No, I don't
New
necessarily.
Orleans doesn't have
I don't
that
disagree with
ceiling, but yeah, the Jags do not.
Jags have a very low floor.
Yeah, very,
You're not wrong.
very low
You're not
floor.
wrong. I will abide by his judgment. But when the Jags
Sweet.
come in second in the AFC South,
D-Train.
you both are just had to bow down to it.
All right, it's been a while. Let's bring this back. Little round of Romo, you didn't.
Romo, you didn't.
Okay, everyone knows how this works.
Everybody that watched
everybody.
episode 1, which
No.
is 3 people.
I will name something detrimental about Romo, something negative, something true.
All right, I don't know why you had to emphasize true. I don't know why that was necessary.
And
Just stating facts.
Ben will defend him. Here we go. Oh, back in 06, he was behind in Seattle there, and this one of the few playoff games he's been in.
Wow, that was so unnecessary. Why do you have to do that?
Takes the snap for the extra point. No good. Now Seattle wins. Ben, go.
I can go 2 ways with this. I'm going to go way number 1. Why was he fucking catching the fucking snap? When was the last time you saw Peyton Manning catching a fucking snap for a field goal? That's the dumbest fucking coaching decision. People blame Romo for this. When was the last time you saw Tom Brady out there in a playoff game? Yeah, I'll hold it. Why not?
Hey,
yeah, it's just a playoff game.
Tom Brady's done some pooch punch.
Tom Brady can go fuck himself. So that's number one, and I think everybody listening is like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I ever hated on him for that. Number two, he was so close to running that for a touchdown. He was so close to running that in for a touchdown. And if he had done that, think about his legacy. If he had done that, he had bobbled the snap and ran in for a touchdown, he would be a legend. Instead, everybody makes fun of him.
Hold on.
But number one, why wasn't he doing it?
Right.
And number two, someone be blocked this motherfucker. Let him run it in.
What if he picked it up through interception?
Oh no!
All right. This is my last Getting Blitzed. I'm resigning based on the audacity of the host of Getting Blitzed to bring up something like that. That's unacceptable.
Oh man! Oh, we had some good times here.
Never bad.
Empty house, but I think we handled it well. Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew Bretzlow.
Yeah, good talk. Yeah,
Hey,
good,
Drew Bretzlow. Hey, man.
good
Hey,
podcast.
man. Sorry about, whatever I did.
Yeah, that.
Everyone, thanks for listening to Gettin Blitzed. We'll see you next time.
Gettin Blitzed.